Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa. Today is Monday, and I'm bringing you a special treat. It's my buddy Mitch from Mitchys Motivational Mondays. He has been just a great friend to me, and he started a channel that I really want to support, and I want to spread some positivity when we're in this dark time. So, you guys give us a like, share this video, and let's spread some positivity out there. Be right back right after this. Hi there, Mitch. Welcome to the show. Good to have you.
Hey, good to be here. Good to be here. How's everyone doing tonight?
Really good, really good. We are
Good, good.
really glad to have you. I miss not seeing you on the road. We're hitting the road. We were out in January and heading out to go see Bix this week. This week, gosh, it's Monday. It's happening this week, and
This week, yeah.
sad that you're not going to be joining us. So I was really glad to see that you could join me today, and I wanted to share um, what you're doing and the work that you're doing on your YouTube channel as well as on Twitter with everybody, and kind of catch everybody up with what's going on.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
where are you right now?
So right
'Cause
now
you've been
I'm back
roaming.
in Michigan. Yeah. I'm a kind of a nomad right now. No. So I'm in the process still of moving from Michigan to Illinois and having yet to build my reputation for my work, my carpentry work in Illinois. All my work's still kind of here, so it's working out okay. So I could come back to Michigan, do some jobs, make some money, pack up some more stuff and head back to Illinois. And so my goal is by the end of April or the end of May to be completely moved into Illinois, and
Okay.
then cross our fingers and hope for the best for work. And
So you'll be
once.
there full time for Westwood when we do the big Westwood meetup in
Oh
June.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, that'll
I
be
mean,
really
it's gonna
exciting.
be quite a distance for me to get to Westwoods, but I think I can
I
manage.
think you can. You can even stumble home. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
across
right.
the road, across the
Literally.
cornfield.
Hmm. Yep, I'll
Yeah,
probably be yelling over there, keep it down, I'm trying to go to sleep.
probably so. Yeah, um, it's pretty great. Yeah, Tom says he's got his Mighty Mia shirt on. You have your Team Mighty shirt on. I appreciate you wearing that
Yes,
and promoting that.
absolutely.
We're gearing up for next month. We're going to be looking at doing something a little bit different. We had a board meeting and discussed how we're going to be doing that. We'll be making some announcements this week, actually later this week when we're out in Phoenix. Some exciting stuff that we're doing for Team Mighty, and I appreciate your support with that.
Oh, yeah, always,
Yeah,
always.
and tell everybody, I mean, a little bit about like your motivation for Mitchys Motivational Mondays, and
Okay,
I also want to get into some of the charity work that you do around the holidays, some things like that. But let's start off with
sure.
your channel.
Well, so I've always been a highly motivated person, highly motivational person. Not, I shouldn't say always, more so in the last probably 4 years. My positivity level went from maybe a 5 to like a 9.5 to 10, Um, and I feel that, and because I've suffered from depression, I've suffered from some anxiety, um, and struggled with that for a few years. A lot of it's quote unquote hereditary in my family, but the fact that I had to deal with that, and I know that there's a lot of people out there that are afraid to go get help, or that are afraid to reach out to other people, and so I feel it was my calling to be that person to just like I'd started on Twitter, right? And I would just put out positive tweets all the time. Like, hey,
Mm.
get up this morning, look in the mirror, and tell yourself it's going to be a great day. You got this. And then it was just, I did the crypto campfire we had almost 2 years that I did the crypto campfire podcast with the professor. And I really miss that interaction. I really miss interacting with people. So, I decided back in, I think my first videos were in July, I think, of 21. I just started making videos and started the channel, and that was kind of, my inspiration was just to have that place that people can go and not to be long-winded, not to be a drawn-out show, but just 10 minutes of some words of wisdom, some positive energy, and just to pick people up. Monday is always the hardest day of the week for most people. And, so the worst thing is like Sunday night, you're thinking, oh gosh, I got to get up and go to work tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. But if you have something that's even a few minutes in the morning while you're sipping your coffee to look forward to start your day off on an upbeat level, on an emotional rise, so to speak, and get that mindset ready for the whole week, I think it's important. And so that's what motivated me to do that channel.
Definitely. Well, and I think we were on the road together when we kind of started, when you started talking about that. You were
Hmm.
in that transition, and something really positive came out of it. And I think it has been really helpful. I know um, I've heard several people say, how it's, you know, been encouraging to them to be able to know that on Monday they can, turn that on and they know there's a positive message for them waiting for them. So you guys make sure that you go to Mitchys Motivational Monday. There's a link in the channel or in the description of this for Mitch's channel. Make sure you hit that button and subscribe to that. I also want to talk about what you started a few years ago around Christmas time, which was really organic effort. And how that, I'll let you tell the story, but how that kind of started, where you ran into some people that were in need or family in need, and with your carpentry skills, you were willing to, you know, um, donate that your skills, but you needed
Right.
extra help, and you partnered with the community to let them be a part of something as well. Can you
So
kind of talk about that,
yeah,
and that effort's grown as well?
so it was 2 Christmases ago, um, after COVID had hit, and seeing how much financial impact it had on people. And so I was inspired to just do a fundraiser. And my goal was like, let's see if we can raise enough money to pay someone's electric bill,
Mhm.
that's going to get shut off, or pay somebody's gas bill, or buy dinner for a family for a week. And it was the first time that I'd ever done anything like that as far as trying to raise funds. And I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. I was just blown away by the love of all my friends and all this community on Twitter that have come to know me, and to have people that really haven't even met you donate money to a cause that you're trying to do was very humbling, and it was very moving experience. And lo and behold, we raised almost I think it was $8,600 that we raised that Christmas, all in crypto. Um, and I was like, okay, wow, well, that was way more than I expected. And so I was in search of a recipient. And what I've come to learn is that, you can try to make things happen all you want, but the reality is God has a plan,
Mhm.
and all of this is predestined. All of this was supposed to be. And so he already knows who this recipient is, even though you're trying to find people to give it to. Um, and then so it was actually Clint, his wife's cousin's wife, she's a veteran, and she had came down with a bunch of issues, like issues that related to her speech, her physical
Right, severe
dexterities.
neurological issues. Yeah.
Yes, and turns out there was tumors on her spine that she still has to try and get rid of. She still needs surgery for. And she had put a GoFundMe out. And so I looked at the GoFundMe. Well, they were trying to raise money to fix their bathroom. So Christmas came, I cashed out all the crypto and I took the check to them the day after Christmas. And Clint and I and his family went over there and presented them with the check. And then I started looking at their house and seeing what needed to happen. Um, and so that brought me to phase two, was to start building a handicap accessible bathroom for them on the first floor instead of trying to remodel the second floor that she's trying to make it up and down in. So that's well underway. More generous people from the community, donated some money for that, and we got the rough structure done, the rough plumbing's done, the rough electrical's done. Now it's just a matter of getting me back there to finish the drywall and the ceramic tile work and bring this thing to close. And I'm hopeful to do that this year. I'm hopeful to do it before Westwood, but we'll see what happens.
I was going to say,
Um,
maybe we could make that a project with a goal for Westwoods or something, or
yeah,
tie
I
that
mean that
into
that
Westwood.
should work because by the time I get done here in Michigan, it's going to be mid-April when I'm back there. So April and May, I'm definitely going to be working on that because I don't have any other work lined up. And
Right.
if I can just do that, at
Or
least that's
even
getting
people
accomplished.
having a project while we're there for people that could come early to Westwoods or something. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking on the
Right.
fly, but it'd be kind of cool if we could give back to the community while we're there. Or maybe
Sure.
that's something we start, is that whoever can come early to meetups, we try to find a partner in the community that needs help. And we're like,
Right.
crypto warriors on the ground that come in and help the community wherever we are and
That would
leave
be
it a little
fun.
bit better than when we
Exactly.
came.
Exactly.
Um,
So that project's still going on. And then this year we did the same thing. And just the way the crypto markets have been and the economy for everything. Oh, good. An next drywall taper. Come on, Tom, bring it. I might have you come out to Illinois a little sooner.
we we have some skilled individuals in the family here.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
That's awesome.
Um, so, that's kind of how that all started. And it just, like I said, when you have people see what I've learned and what I think it is that everybody that donated got to see the fruits of their donations, the fruits of their gifts that they give. And they were actually able to experience that joy of it. And I think people desire that, number one. And number two, there's always that question of where do I give if I want to donate money to something, what am I going to donate to? Right. And so,
Mhm.
so by giving this kind of an opportunity, it's like people get to see the actual results of what it was that they gave. And I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and that community thing is so strong in our group and in our crew, that I
Hmm.
really have a lot of respect for that. I think that's what kind of binds us all together. So it's exciting. Jim Montgomery says he's a stucco guy here, and Public's making jokes about how tall Tom is. He said he didn't even need drywall stilts or a ladder.
Nice.
Um, Crypto
Uh,
Chris Card says, "What are the rules right now for traveling in the U.S.?" So I'm not sure from if you're from out of the U.S.
right.
That's a great
Traveling to,
question.
who knows?
Yeah. For if you're a U.S. citizen traveling within the U.S., there's really no restrictions,
Right.
state to state. I don't know if you're coming from outside the U.S. what the restrictions might be. Um, I'm sure you can Google it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Just don't
yeah,
try and call them. You'll be on the phone for quite a while.
yeah. There's no one there.
Right?
Um, yeah, um, it's crazy right now. Well, tell us a little bit about your crypto journey, because
Okay,
that's how
so
we're all kind of tied together and how we all
it
met.
is. It is. So I started looking into crypto in 2017, and in 2018 in January, actually, I got with a friend of mine. I said, "All right, help me get set up, help me get in." So I started to uh, put some money in the market, just a little bit, and then I got into Telegram and got into a chat group, and then that just kind of evolved and just snowballed, and that's where I met the professor. And then one day he's like, "Hey, we went on a podcast together." And he's like, "Hey, you want to start a podcast?" And I'm like, "Sure, let's do it, you know?" And it was at that point, I had already met J Mac because I seen that he wanted to do like a crypto meetup, and I had followed him and he was trying to put together a crypto meetup. And then so I started following him. He was actually like I think one of the first people, the first on our show. Uh it was awesome. And then after that, that's when we went to Jersey, and that's when I met you and Clint and Silvertooth and Nana and just Zog and the whole crew,
And
was
was
it
that the first time you met Professor in person or not
I
yet?
the first time I met the professor in person was when we went to St. Louis
Okay.
for Bitcoin Ben's
I
thing.
remember I was there and you were like,
Yeah,
and I was like, what? This is the first time you're meeting him after you've been doing all these podcasts together.
yeah,
It was kind
yeah,
of wild. Yeah.
it was. And then yeah, so it's been a crazy journey ever since, and it became in a really quick fashion, it became more to me about this spiritual journey
Mm,
and where everything's taken me more so than the money. Crypto to me is more of a tool than it is money. And I think any tool, depending on who's wielding it, can do many great things or it can do destructive things.
mhm,
Yeah, that's where I met a public too.
mhm.
It was in Jersey. Um, so that's kind of how I got into crypto, and then everything's just evolved from there. Ever since I've been on Twitter, I had always been a positive type person, um, positive influence, and even the chat groups I was in, everybody's like, "You're just so damn positive. You need to do this or you need to do that." So it was a lot of fun, and I've had life-changing experiences and met some life-changing friends, and it's been pretty amazing.
Yeah, I know you've
Absolutely.
been a voice of reason and I think a kind of a mentor to some of the I'm gonna dare say
The
younger
Deegans.
the degens, yes.
Yeah, yeah, the
Um,
degenerates.
yeah, and you've kind of tried to wrangle or be an example to kind of help them grow up in this space. And I have some respect for you in that because there's some of them that I don't know that I could do the same with.
It's
Um,
a definitely a patience thing. And
yeah,
that's one thing and I don't know if it's just wisdom with age or what, but my patience has just evolved so much in the last 5 to 7 years. It's crazy. I mean, 10 years ago, yeah, 10, 15 years ago, mm-mm, watch out. If you're working with me, you best be
right.
moving. I was just go, go, go. But now it's like I'm more reserved, but I try to see things through different lenses. I try to see things from outside, not just from these two eyes, but I try to see things from all angles. And one thing I've learned is that, grace and compassion and understanding goes so far because you don't know. Like, give me an example. You're driving down the road and you make a mistake driving, right? You cut some guy off and you
Right.
didn't mean to do it or whatever. And he just goes off the rails, right? And it's
Like you're
like,
trying to cause
right,
someone to be in an accident. Yeah.
exactly. So, you know, for you to get mad back is
Hmm.
so counterproductive, you
Right.
know? And so you don't know what that person's been through that day. You don't know why they're in a hurry. You don't know anything about them. So to sit there and want to start a confrontation with someone just because they're having a bad day, it's like
And you
you don't
don't
know.
know their mental state either.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
and
So
I
I've
could
learned
say
that
the same for people on Twitter.
absolutely.
It's really easy to start, a crypto Twitter battle or fight. And especially when you're texting, like things can be so misread or misconstrued where somebody, thinks like they think, and especially because we're talking with people from all over the world. So even different words
Cultures.
have different meaning, yes, and different cultures. And in people might intend something from differently and and different generations. Somebody told me something about dead the other day, and I was like, well, that was a compliment because that means that was funny.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
um
I just
so
died.
you
Oh
just,
my God.
yeah, you just
Laughing so
never
hard.
know. So I try not to take anybody just too terribly serious on
Text is the
on a
worst.
lot of that.
Text is actually the worst because you don't know. And
Yeah.
I did a video 2 or 3 weeks ago, my Monday
Oh, uh-huh.
videos, and I was talking about your state of mind and how you receive text messages, and it was that one. Yeah. What did
Is
they
it
just
this one?
say?
What did they just say? Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I talked about how your state of mind determines how you perceive things. So somebody could type words on a phone and you could read them, and depending on your mindset you could read them in multitudes of ways.
Hmm.
If you were in a self-conscious state, you could read them as being attacking. And if you're in a depending on your mindset will determine how you read those. If you're in a positive happy mood, the chances of someone offending you even though they're not trying to are slim. But words, and without context, words without emotion behind them are impossible to interpret the emotions meant.
Right. Right.
So that's
Well,
why
I
I
think
use emojis all the time, because it's like it helps
you
to
think
get that
that
across. Like,
emojis are even more accurate. I guess
yeah.
they're an added tool. You add the emoji with the words, and then and also, uh, hoping for the best or giving people the, you know, benefit of the doubt.
Hmm.
I know I've even had people contact me where they were like, oh, "Did you hear what so and so said?" And I'm like, I went back and listened to it, and I'm like, I didn't hear that at all. That's not what I heard. I watched the whole thing, and
Right.
that's not what I got at all. But then there's also that thing where, you go to church and you're like, "Did you hear the pastor was talking exactly to me? That's exactly like that was message was for me." And so some of those things are just how it's interpreted and how you're interpreting it. And I guess as
Hmm.
long as we all remember that, and take that all with a grain of salt, um,
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly. You have to consider your state of mind
Hmm.
when you get angry. Like, one thing I've learned is, like, ask yourself that question as soon as you feel yourself like crossing that edge, crossing that line. Stop and ask yourself, like, why am I triggered right now? What is it that this person just did that's triggered me? What is it that made me angry? And then ask yourself that question, right? And ask yourself, okay, so that's what he said that made me angry, but really, why did it? So you have to go into three different levels of consciousness to actually understand why your brain is thinking the way it's thinking. I trust me, a lot of therapy. I've learned this. I mean,
Well, it's
I'm not
nice when we
ashamed of
can.
that. Not
Yeah, it's
ashamed of
nice when
that at
we can
all.
share it with other people for sure. And I think this is the way that you're choosing to share your lessons of life, with other people and try to help others along the way. And I think it's, a great thing. So I love
Thank
it.
you. No,
Yeah.
it just I know what it's like, and I know what it's like to have that when you're having a rough day and someone says something to you that builds you up, that picks you up, that reinforces the positive things about you, even though you're feeling so negative about yourself, or you're feeling so negative to think, clearly. And it's reinforcing to have somebody say that to you. And so I know what that feels like. And to not have that feedback from someone else, so therefore it makes me want to put it out. It's funny because like I'll do my little excerpt, right? And then I'll put that little short on Twitter and I'll
Hmm.
tag people that I don't normally tag all the time. And the amount of people that come back after watching the video and say, "Thanks, Mitch. I really needed to hear this today." You know, that that feels pretty amazing.
But that has to feel like that's a God universe thing too. That,
Exactly. Sure it
that
is. Of course it is. There's no
he
question
put it
about
on
that.
your
I
heart, who
right.
to connect with or who needed to hear that message. And
Yeah.
then, well, then that wasn't even my message. I was just being a vessel or a pathway for
Right.
that message to get through to those people.
Exactly. And that's another thing too is a lot of stuff that I've written, um, a lot of stuff that I speak and my messages. I'll go back and listen to it or read it, and it's like, did I say that or did I really, because I don't write anything down. I just get out
Mhm.
there and just speak. And more often than not, it's just coming through me. It's not coming from me, if that makes any sense. And
No, it does. I found an old blog from way back when Mia was in the hospital getting her heart transplant, and and I was fostering and lots of different kids and just all that. And I was like, did I say that all that stuff? Like it was a different season of my life though. And so I was having different lessons and different conversations with God at the time. And so it's really interesting. I wish I did more journaling now
Mhm.
because of that. And so I guess doing these videos is another way that you can do that. It's another way of capturing, where you are in time and what those conversations are, where your heart
Yeah.
is during this time. And with what's going on in the world right now, I think it would, if anybody can, if all of us were to be capturing history right now on what the condition of our heart is and what's going on in our lives right now, I think it will be invaluable in the future for um, our children or other people to come back and look and say, my gosh, that was when the world was changing so much. And look, here's the heart of the people during that time. They were still concerned with reaching out for others or caring for others or trying to, do projects or bringing community together. So I
But
think that's really
that's like
inspiring.
why I love all my friends so much, and that's why I love all of my family so much that I've grown to know from Twitter is that, one thing I was always told as a kid, well, you can't change the world, right? People will even say that today. Well, you can't do nothing about it. Well, you know what? Yeah, you can. Everybody can. And it just starts with one. And that snowball effect that happens when you being kind to somebody, showing an act of kindness, doing something deep for another person, doing
Mhm.
something for someone you don't even know. Just sharing a smile as a stranger walks by you on the street, you could have very easily just made their day so much better because you don't know where they were.
Right.
And so that act of kindness sits with those people, sits with others, and then it just expands from there. I mean, how do they say it? And I've heard it multiple times on positivity and positive energy is contagious. So that contagiousness, that spreading of joy, that spreading of compassion for other people is what this right here is all about.
Definitely. Definitely. So, what would you say your next project is? I know you're going to be in Michigan for a while. You're going to continue to do the Mitchys Motivational Mondays, and people can find you on Twitter. Will you jump on some Twitter spaces of Monday nights and let people maybe have some conversations with you to
For
continue?
sure.
Now, I'm pushing you.
No, Hey, I'm all
like I
about it,
always do.
I
You
love
know,
it. I love it because
uh,
if we don't get pushed, if we don't get that nudge, we get too complacent and too comfortable with where we're at, and there's so much more that we can be doing.
yeah.
But absolutely, and I'm actually hoping to start another podcast here relatively soon.
Okay.
And I don't know that if you've heard about that or not, but keep you guys, keep your ears open. I'm sure you'll like where it's gonna go. And so I'm hopeful to get that rolling. And absolutely, spaces. See, it's so there's a balance that I try to keep, right? I try to keep a balance of not getting too much on the political side when it comes to social media and not getting too much outside of my comfort zone, right? And
Hmm.
outside of my wheelhouse, so to speak. There's a lot of things that I can't speak on because I don't know, right? So, like NFTs being one of them. I stay away from NFTs. I
Okay.
just don't desire to get into them. I don't desire
That's
to
okay. Yeah.
expand. So I just kind of stay neutral with that, and every once in a while you'll see me tweet something on Twitter or put something on that relates to where the state of the world is right now, global events and stuff like that, because you can't help but get infuriated by some of the shit that you see.
I
And,
agree.
I love watching your show and I love, the happy hour show on Fridays. You and Clint really click very well together about a lot of that stuff. And, your woo woo Wednesdays and just your show has been, I gotta take my hat off to you, sis. You've
Well, thank you.
busted your ass since I've known you, and you've just excelled and grew. And yeah, you're doing very well, and I'm very proud and
Thank
very
you.
honored to be here with all of the guests that on all of the people that get to experience it, all of your followers and everyone that I interact with on the channel when I come in the chats, and just a great group of people, and I'm just having the time of my life.
Well, I love it, and I love the community that we have, and the reach that we're able to get, and the people that we're able to support. I just recently, talking about busting my tail, I was up till 4 a.m. working on my website. So I'm gonna brag a little bit and show you guys.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah, I I'll go through it really quick, but I got my website going. We've got our home page sharing information and resources you can trust. Join me in finding solutions. I really had to dial down about like what is it that I feel like I'm bringing to the community, and that's my heart is to bring solutions to people. So cryptocurrency, precious metals, self-directed IRAs and trusts, alternative health, and self-defense. My daughter's gonna be um, joining me more, talking about her jujitsu. She wants me to join her in taking a self defense class. I'm not doing Brazilian jiu jitsu, but I had a really amazing talk with her instructor. Um, and anyway, we'll be doing more of that. I'm really excited about. So I talk a little bit about Nana. I said after being red pilled by my mother when she gave me and my husband Litecoin as a wedding gift in 2017, I quickly became aware of the broken financial system, committed to spreading freedom by sharing information, resources, and connections. My journey to freedom has included taking personal responsibility for my wealth, my safety, and my health. And then I share my Patreon link where people can connect with me, and there's different ways to do that. And then I share this video because I think it's so valuable with the information where Michelle talks about how you can protect your crypto and precious metal assets legally. Then Westwood and I are going to kick this off with interactive classes. So these classes will be offered. There's a level in my Patreon where these classes are all included, and they will have um, first dibs on spots because there'll be limited classes every month. But then I'm going to offer it to the public as well. So you can, right now, we have our first class set up, and there, as of this morning, when I finally got the final piece of this, there were 20 spots for the first class on April 9th. Um, and then I talk about in person events. So this is Happy Hour Roadshow. We're hitting the road You click this and you go to our events page. I also have an opportunity where you can make requests for me to join you at an event where you're the host, and I can share my life experience or expertise from life lessons. So I could talk about my parenting stuff or my experience with having a child who's had an organ donated to them or has faced cancer, or being an adoptive parent, or going through a divorce, or lots of all my wonderful life experiences. This is where I'm going to start a newsletter. I just said get a message from me, where I'll be sending just special, and then put some of my partners on there. I'm still got to put some more of our sponsors on there. Let's see, our events page. Let's hit the road. And I'm trying to figure out how to put the dates on my little
interactive map.
Yeah, but right now I have the dates listed here. I just need a little more time to get my dates put on the map, but I'm getting there.
Well, if I wonder if there's a way that you can hyperlink it so when you click on the state, it brings up that schedule for that state.
There's a way for me to put like a little red, put something on the map. It's just, I just have to spend a few more hours doing it.
Right.
So I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
You know, that's sometimes what you gain from the learning experience of doing what you're doing is worth all the struggle and aggravation that it takes you to do it.
Definitely. This is my blog page. So I posted 2 blog posts. The first blog post I posted and I shared it. And that's what, speaking of learning, I realized that I had it password protected, so no one saw it. But then I went in and opened that up. Yep. And so then I did one today about the Bitcoin basics, or the Crypto 101 class online that's coming up. The quick about me, and kind of 2 different avenues if you're looking for. And I talked about like where I've been asked to speak at different things in the past, kind of at Patriot events and as an advocate, to kind of give people an idea. And then you can request me to join you at your event. Then I give like a bio, and then I list some of my co-hosts and some pictures, and then a quick thing about the show, and subscribe to my YouTube. I should probably put that on the first page too, the subscribe to the YouTube. A quick contact. I've recently been asked to advise on a couple of crypto projects. So that's kind of a new thing for my wheelhouse. So I put a page on here and said I'm interested in partnering with in an advisory, or I have sponsorship opportunities with solid projects that have a valid use case, and team members with integrity, and then also speaking engagements. So and then I can see my about me,
go girl,
my reference. Yeah. So and then I said, if you're interested in contacting me outside of here, you can reach me on Patreon, because that's where for my patrons, I message directly with them, and then the little contact and all my social media links. So that is the Litecoin Lisa, and you can reach me at litecoinlisa.net.
Nice. So when Clint when you guys announced the Westwoods 22 in June 18th, right? That weekend?
Yes.
Is there like a list that people can like almost RSVP to so that he kind of has an idea of how many people, like say from the show, that are going to make it there? Or
we have never done that. We've always just announce it and wing it,
right?
And so I don't know if he's going to do something like that for Westwoods or not.
What do you think, Westwood? You going to do that? He's in the chat.
He's in the chat.
Yeah.
He might need a little help with something like that. I could do, I don't know how Sign Up Genius, if you have to, I don't have an account with them. I don't know if that's
I'm just thinking something simple, like, that people could just click and say, yes, I'm coming. And
we could do
a tally,
event. Like I did do a Facebook event for the meetup. Let me see. For the meetup for, that's what else I need to do. Did I do links to? Yeah, I think I did. Let's see. Live stream for happy hour. Road to Ruta event. So that's for this week. We're going to be in Phoenix at the Freedom Road Show at Dos Gringos. And then Litecoin Day is the 25th. And I talk about it's on the 84th day of the year. Meet us at Wilshire Gun Club in Oklahoma City. And then so I think that's the Yelp. Maybe I put it to the Facebook. No, I did it to. So I need to go back and change that and put it to the Facebook, because then I later created a Facebook event. Let me see, that people could
keep track of all that stuff
too. Well, and I worked till 4 a.m, so I would like get an idea, and then once I built it one way, then I would be like, oh, but I could do this and make it better, and then I would make it better, but then I needed to go back and so it's a
fun
sickness.
times. Yeah,
it's a sickness.
fun
Like
times.
I end up.
It's all good. I love it.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun. It keeps it exciting, you know? Could you imagine if you just did everything perfect the first time and never had to go back? How boring it would get.
Oh no. Yeah. I'm not that girl. I'm always growing and changing and tweaking it, and I hope I'm always learning. I hope that that's something that we're all always doing.
Right.
Let's see. Here it is. This is the event for Oklahoma City. We just found out today or last night that Bitcoin Ben's going to be there. He's joining us in Oklahoma City for the Litecoin Day. He'll be at the Wilshire Gun Club with us. And he's also speaking. He's joining us at Bitcoin Day on the 26th. So that'll be fun too. Hopefully people can join us. But the Litecoin Day event at the Gun Club is free to everybody. Bitcoin Day does have a fee. I think it's like $200. But if you go to bitcoinday.io to get your ticket and use the code Lisa, Lisa, you get 10% off. So if you're attending that, you can use that code and get.
That'll give you another $25 to put towards a Litecoin.
Yeah, $20. 10%.
Okay, $20.
Yeah, but you can go to this Facebook event, and I'll put the link in the description. I'll have to go back and add that after the video, or I can do it real quick while we're live. But anyway, we're all learning and growing and challenging each other together. So your new podcast, when will that start, and where can everybody find it? I guess you'll do a video on your YouTube channel, so we'll be able to.
Right. Well, it'll definitely I'm still trying to get my partner and I in sync with timing and come up with some final plans. But I would probably say by June or July we should be taking it live. No rush, there's really no need to rush into anything. We got time. And so it'll be a good one. I'm confident of it. There's always good stuff to talk about. And if I may throw it out there, guys, if you ever need anybody that is a pretty decent carpenter, and if you want some custom cabinetry or some custom millwork or custom trim work done, or just renovation work on your house, hit me up. I'm all about traveling and hanging out with people and getting some work done, and especially people from within the community. So reach out to me if there's any projects that, decent sized projects that you want to get done and just don't have contractors that you really feel comfortable with. I'm your guy. So Hit me up.
I like it.
Absolutely.
And they can reach you on at your, let's see, at
Right now
your
they could reach me
Twitter.
on my on Twitter at Cuss Carpentry is probably the best way. Or you could send me an email at we'll go with Mitch Kryptonic 2018 at Gmail.
Okay.
That's my ultra alias, like you know, email address there.
And
And
will
yes,
you
I will
be
accept
accepting
crypto as a
crypto as
payment.
payment?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely. I will definitely
good
take
to know.
crypto as a payment, especially like right now. Oh, are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
no
Hell
kidding.
yeah.
When it's
Over the
down.
bear market, could you imagine working
Oh,
if people wanted to let it go, which I doubt people will, but could you imagine working for crypto during the bear market and
yeah.
then going into the bull market and it's just like woo hoo, look out.
Hmm. No, for
But
sure. I
yeah,
had one of my sponsors re-upped, and he was like, "I'm really sorry, but we have to pay you in USD." And I was like, "But why?" He's
but
like,
why?
"Come on, Lisa."
Yeah, right.
I'm like,
uh,
"Oh, come on. I don't
Yeah, it's
mind.
just
I could have
right.
crypto."
You can't just give it to me when it's up. You got to give it to me when it's down too to make it
Yeah,
balance.
I thought, we really believe. We just
Yeah.
really want to be outside of that other system. I don't want to play both systems.
You know,
Well,
that's
yes,
such a
I do.
hard, you just hit that, right? That key word right there, outside of that system.
Mm,
And it's such a transition and it's such a challenge to, I mean, as things evolve, as we get deeper into the adoption and evolution of the cryptocurrency space and acceptance as payments continues to grow. Let me rephrase that, continues to grow because it is growing.
hmm. Right.
And as soon as you can start paying your bills and not have to use a traditional bank account to pay your bills, it'll be so much easier to get out of that system. And that's,
That's true.
like let's say they had even if it was the third party, right? You want to pay your electric bill, so you click onto you go onto this website and you say, I want to pay this bill, just like you would normally through your checkbook, and then you just send your crypto there and it converts it and pays the bill.
Well, we're
you
even
know I
seeing states now having where people are able to pay their taxes in crypto.
Yes,
I
right.
mean,
Right. So the
so
more that becomes available, and we've always said that's the whole purpose. That's its use case. It's supposed to be a currency. It's not necessarily supposed to be something that's just held on to and,
because
like,
that
oh,
would
I'm
be a
never gonna let it
security.
go. There you go. Right. So by
Which,
by using it for what it's supposed to be
right.
used for, you know.
Yeah,
But that's
I
the only way to get
agree.
totally out of that system because that we can all see how well that system's treating us right now. And
Well,
yeah.
yeah, there's supposed to be an announcement by the Fed, which Kathy Woods is saying it's inevitable that they are going to be raising rates on Wednesday, possibly tripling that quarter, um, and and that inflation is going to go through the roof, and that but she said there's always opportunity to make money in any market. You just have to know where to be, and she sees it really crashing all markets and to move into gold. And then I heard um, this weekend, the banks were having meetings about the nickel shortage, and I think they did about the silver shortage or the silver contracts today.
Hmm.
Um, so, I mean, it's happening. We saw that all in Uncle Cliff's. Uh, I don't know if his phone died or anyway, we saw that all in Uncle Cliff's data that that precious metals would run first. So I think we're right there. But hold on, I think he's
I
coming
don't know
back.
what happened.
I think it was the spirit of Westwood.
It must have been because it always happens. It always happens to him, so it just had to happen to me.
It must have been. It was
Him
the
and I are
spirit
in
of
sync or
Westwood.
something today because I did my video this morning on seasons changing,
Hmm.
the changing of seasons and how
Yeah.
everything has a season in life. and he kind of touched on that as well. I haven't had a chance to catch up with his video, but he texted me and he said, "Hey, how do we do that? You know, there's no
That's funny.
coincidences."
No,
It was.
definitely not. Well, I'm grateful to know you in this season of life and grateful to call you a friend. And I appreciate you so much coming on and sharing. Once again, you guys make sure that you're following him at Cust Carp Tree on Twitter, and then Mitchys Motivational Monday. Be inspired, MMM,
Yes,
on
please.
YouTube. Yeah, it's a great way to start your week with something positive, and we need
And
to raise that vibration together.
feel free to leave me a comment on the videos. I do get those, and I enjoy seeing the comments that come across, and just before I say my goodbyes, guys, I can't stress enough that no matter how challenging life gets, no matter how heavy all this stuff gets that we're getting bombarded with on a daily basis, try to keep the focus on letting go of all that. Don't try and carry it all because you can't. You have to let that go, and the more you try to carry, the heavier things get. It's just not a way to move forward. So, take that time and just try to appreciate the moments that we do have. Don't live in the past, because the past, there's nothing we can do about other than learn from. And to worry about tomorrow, well, that's a poor investment in the now. So just focus on the moment, focus on what you can do, and don't be afraid to shine a little light on somebody else every once in a while.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. It was a
Thank
beautiful way
you.
to end the show. We'll see you guys tomorrow on what day? Tuesday. It's
Tuesday, yes.
Tuesday.
Tomorrow is
Tuesday.
Tuesday already.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It's going so fast.
The 15th,
And
actually.
the 15th, beware the Ides of March.
That's
Um,
right.
wow, it's going so quick. I got
It
to start
is.
packing.
Me too.
All right. We'll
Oh,
get you guys tomorrow. Give us a like and share this video. Let's get some more of that positivity and
take
that
care,
motivation
guys.
out there. Take care.
All right. Peace.